Everyone. This is Rebecca with Red True Crime with some case updates. So, let me say this. If you are new to the channel, my name's Rebecca. I talk about real crime cases, celebrity, old, new, missing kids, all that fun stuff. I shouldn't say fun, all those type of things. I talk about that stuff here on this channel. Um, I give opinions on things. Some people don't like my opinions, but that's okay because you can not like my opinion, but I'm going to give it anyway. Um, So if you're new and you like what you hear or you enjoy my content, then please go ahead and subscribe, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. And if you have been here before and you've already subscribed, welcome back. Thank you again for the support. And I'm going to go ahead and go into what we're going to talk about tonight. So, first update, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Sean Diddy, Combs, Love, whatever his name is this week. So, closing argument started today. They are expected to finish on Monday and it go to the jury. So the question is, did the prosecution prove their case? What are the thoughts on that? I think they have. Because racketeering is something, there's different elements. You only have to prove two things out of all the elements of racketeering. And I believe they've done that, between the arson, between the kidnapping, the sex trafficking, drug trafficking, it's been a lot of stuff. The domestic violence, it's just so much has been going on with this man in the decades that have gone on. I think they've got a case. I think he's going to go away for a long time. I really do. And I hope the victims, the people he's victimized, men and women and children at this point, I hope they feel safe again. Because somebody like that with that kind of pull, with that kind of I don't know, power, I guess is the best way to put it. It's scary to know that you're walking the earth, that this person's out there able to do whatever they want, whenever they want. So, hello, everyone. So, but that's what I think on Diddy. I think Diddy is going to go away for some time. I really do. But time will only tell. Because, like I said, Monday, that's when they finish up the closing statements, closing arguments. Oh, thank you. And they're going to finish up the closing statements on Monday, and it's going to go to the jury. So it will be interesting to see how long it takes the jury to come to whatever conclusion they come to. It really will be interesting to see. Like I said, I do believe they are going to find him guilty. I really do. So that's that case. Now, another case I've talked about, it's the murder of T.K. Burton. He is a man that was murdered in July of 2024. He is from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. So that's kind of a local case to me. 4 men have been arrested in his death. Those 4 men are Bo Benjamin Martin, Jacob Hill, Caleb Teal, and Francisco Trejo Garcia. So those 4 men. Let's see. Bo Benjamin Martin, Caleb Teal, and Francisco Garcia have all been charged with accessory after the fact. Jacob Hill has been charged with first-degree murder. Now, these guys were getting picked up at different times. So Jacob Hill was denied bail. Bo Benjamin Martin was given a $250,000 bond. And Caleb Teal and Francisco Garcia have both made their bond and are out free roaming the world right now. So those 3, Bo Benjamin Martin, Caleb Teal, and Francisco Garcia, all go back to court on September 15th. Hello, Brock. So they all go back September 15th to finish up whatever they're going to do. But Jacob Hill, that was the one that was it was confusing because I didn't see any updates on him. And all I saw was a note that his case was being transferred to the homicide pool. And I looked today and we have a court date. Now, I do believe it's going to change. And I do believe it's going to change because they set it for December 25th of this year. So yeah, that's Christmas Day. I don't think they're going to start his jury trial on December 25th. So I think it's going to either get pushed before the 25th, but most likely it's going to probably be January of 2026. That's probably what's going to happen. So once that jury trial starts, then we're going to find out. Um, once they walk out, once they start that case, then we're going to find out why. Because Jacob Hill was TK Burton's closest friends, one of his closest friends. And we do not know why he did what he did. Give me 1 second, I gotta send this quick message. We do not know why he did what he did. To quote TK Burton's mother, she said, that boy came to my house, had Thanksgiving dinner, he was at events, he ate at our table and he killed my son. And we don't know why. We don't know why. So I would like to hope that when this goes to the jury trial, we at least hear some sort of explanation. Okay. Um, anyway, but hopefully we'll find out why. Because other than jealousy or robbery, I can't think of any reason why Jacob Hill would want TK Burton dead. We have no idea why. So there's that. Now, there was another case that got sent my way. This was a case that's also local to the Greensboro, North Carolina area. And it was a woman who on December 12th, 2022, left her 6 children in a house. The house caught fire. 3 of her children died in that fire. So she was originally charged with child neglect that has now been upgraded to second-degree murder. And it's interesting. The woman's name is, let me get her name because I'm trying to remember. I always say her name wrong. Her name is Brandy Labria Sturdivant. That is her name. She is 31 years old and she is still sitting in jail because someone reached out and said, hey, this happened. What's going on with the case? And, what's going on? So as it stands now, they've upgraded the charges as of March of last year to second-degree murder, 3 of those, 3 second-degree murder charges for the 3 youngest kids. And there is no hearing in sight. I don't know when that is going to start, when they're actually going to prosecute her. But I almost want to believe possibly they might be going with some type of insanity defense or some type of mental defect defense, because she's had quite a few different charges over the years. And in one of those cases, I saw where they were wanting a mental evaluation done on her. And that tells me something. So we shall see what happens with that. However, nobody should lose their children like that. I do see in articles that I was reading that this was another case where social services completely dropped the ball. One of the 3 children that had died of smoke inhalation had cocaine in their system. All 3 of these kids were under the age of 5. So that's a problem right there. But we shall see what happens. I know they're catching hell, probably rightfully so. I know one of the situations why she doesn't have a court date, they said that they have a shortage of public defenders. And I'm sorry, that's got to be going against, the right to a speedy trial, because, she's been sitting there for like 2 years. And they need to get the ball rolling on this. Now, the other 3 children she had are now being raised by her mother. So hopefully they are safe and being well taken care of. So that's the case I came to talk about, was Brandy Sturdivant. But right now, there's not a whole lot to it other than she's been charged with second-degree murder 3 times, and she's still sitting in jail. There's that. And furthermore, let me get into this one because I went on to this earlier. I've been catching hell for my take on the Carmelo Anthony, Austin Metcalf situation. So let me say this. I don't want to believe. Okay. Um, I don't want to believe a 17-year-old kid could be a psychopath. I don't want to believe it. But if he is, he is. He killed that kid. No one's denying that Carmelo Anthony killed Austin Metcalf. No one's denying that. You know, he even said, I did it. There's no allege, I did it. So there's that. The question is why? He's saying self-defense. He's saying self-defense. Other people are saying no, he was psycho. Other people are saying no, he was bullied. It's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And my thing is, it comes down to intent. If he was in the habit of keeping a knife on him all the time, kind of mitigates the intent a little bit in my eyes. But if he put the knife in his bag the night before with, only time he's ever done it before, to bring it to that school event, then there's intent. Then there's what's going on there. What do we need to do here? So, like I said, I was catching hell from a lot of people saying that I was being too kind. I was deluded. I had an awful take on this whole thing. And my thing is, it's a 17-year-old kid who killed another 17-year-old kid. Nobody wins in this situation. Because no matter what happens to Carmelo Anthony, because he will get convicted of something. He is going to get convicted. I don't see how they're going to prove self-defense. But he's going to go to jail. Austin Metcalf is still going to be dead. And not only is Austin never coming back, but Carmelo's family loses him too. So that's how I feel about that. I'm waiting for more evidence. I want to know more because somebody spoke out and said, "Oh yeah, he's a psycho because there's video of him beating down somebody on a basketball court during a game." Okay, I've not seen that. I can only go off what I've seen, what I've read, what's out there. I have not seen this. So if anybody wants to send it to me, I'll be more than glad to look at it and give a take on that. But right now, I'm basing this off what I have found, what I have read, what people are talking about. And okay. But that is where I take on that. Because like I said, people can be all hating and mean and stuff, but we don't know what actually happened in there. We don't. I mean, even the witnesses that were there said everything went from 0 to 100 very quickly. So I don't know. And then there is a local case of a missing child that's been missing since June 10th of this year that has come to a very sad conclusion. And I cannot release his name yet because I have not been given permission to release his name yet. But there will be an update on that because this case, his missing case, ties into a double homicide case from the same day. But like I said, it's sad. It's very sad. The gang situation in Greensboro and High Point and Winston is getting out of hand. Too many young people are getting gunned down and killed. A lot of retaliation. People are shooting up grandma's house. I mean, what the hell is going on? And the whole thing is sad. But that's all I got. That's really all I got for tonight, everybody. I'm just glad my kids are grown. And I'll just say it that. So I'm going to hop off here. And as I always say, be weird, be rude, be safe. And thank you all for support and your kind comments. And if you have not subscribed, please do so. Share, like, comment, all that good stuff. And everybody have a great, great day and a great weekend. And I will, when I come back on, if I come up with anything else I need to talk about. So everybody have a good night. This is Rebecca with Red True Crime. I'm out, and have a great weekend. Bye.